Los Angeles that afternoon turned into a natural stage full of magic. The sky is decorated with a golden-orange tinge, seagulls fly low over the sea, and the rays of the twilight sun reflect beautifully on the surface of slowly rolling waves. On a wide beachside, BTS finally held a reunion that has been the only hope for many people. No fancy buildings, no spectacular stage, just a stretch of sand, the sound of the sea, and the sun slowly sinking. But it's precisely that simplicity that makes the atmosphere feel so magical. The members sit in a circle on a simple mat held in the sand. RM looked relaxed with his sunglasses on, occasionally smiling as he looked towards the horizon. Jin thoughtfully handed out the cold drinks brought by the staff, while J-Hope didn't stop joking, making the atmosphere more lively. Suga sat some distance away, enjoying the music from the small speakers playing their old songs, seeming swept away in nostalgia. But the main spotlight is certainly on two figures who sit side by side, but with a distance that leaves tension. Taehyung and Jungkook. The rays of the afternoon sun fell right on their faces, making every expression look so obvious. Jungkook seemed to occasionally glance at Taehyung, as if he wanted to say something but held back. Taehyung himself looked silent, his eyes looking far out to sea, as if he were weighing up the courage to reveal something long hidden. The coastal breeze blows gently, carrying the salty scent of the sea and creating an atmosphere of silence that suddenly feels full of meaning. And as dusk turned redder, Taehyung finally stood up slowly. Everyone turned their heads. RM, who had looked relaxed, immediately serious. Jin fell silent. J-Hope stopped his laughter, while Suga looked up at Taehyung with eyes full of curiosity. The soldiers who were waiting from a distance also held their breath, trying to read their idol's lip movements. "I want to be honest this afternoon," Taehyung said, his voice calm but deep. "I have kept many things in my heart, and I can no longer pretend like everything is fine. I once felt alone even in the midst of you. I fear that one day this bond will be lost. I was afraid of losing you." The wind stopped as if hearing. The evening sun reflected a golden light on Taehyung's face, making the moment feel dramatic as if it was set by nature itself. RM sighed heavily, Jin lowered his head, J-Hope covered his mouth with his hand, while Suga could only stare at the small flames of a burning torch beside the mat. But among all, it was Jungkook who was most shaken. His eyes widened, glistening wet against the twilight rays. He stared at Taehyung unblinkingly, as if the whole world around him disappeared. He knew Taehyung wasn't speaking just to be heard, but to really open the wound. Taehyung continued with a trembling voice, "And the hardest thing for me is the fear of losing you." He looked straight at Jungkook. The atmosphere instantly froze. The waves kept coming and going, but in the ears of all those present, there was only Taehyung's voice. Jungkook gulped, chest up and down quickly, then slowly stood up and stepped closer to Taehyung. He stopped right in front of her, looking deeply into Taehyung's teary eyes. "I never knew you felt that way," Jungkook said in a trembling voice. "And I'm sorry because maybe I wasn't sensitive enough. But Tae, you are never alone. Never will." Without hesitation, Jungkook hugged Taehyung into a tight embrace. The light of the twilight sun fell on their backs, creating such a beautiful silhouette in front of the waves. The other members clapped their hands while holding back tears, while ARMY, who watched from afar, immediately shouted hysterically. Some ran small in the sand, covering their faces with their hands while crying happily. The moment was quickly recorded by fan cameras and spread widely in cyberspace. A silhouette photo of Taehyung and Jungkook hugging under the Los Angeles twilight sky went viral, filling social media feeds with heart-rending comments. The hashtags #BTS reunion at the beach, #Taehyung confession, and #Jungkook sunset pelucan immediately trending in various countries. That day, the Los Angeles beach was not only a witness to BTS's reunion, but also a witness to the honesty that sealed their bond. The twilight dimmed, but their love and togetherness only grew brighter, leaving a lasting message that BTS is not just a music group, but an irreplaceable family. The cheers that sounded from a distance came not only from the ARMY, who were lucky to witness firsthand, but also from the small sounds of happy cries that spread all over the world through the mobile phone screen. In a matter of minutes, Amateur live streams from fans on the shoreline spread across multiple platforms, making millions of people around the world feel the Los Angeles sea breeze and witness the eternal embrace between Taehyung and Jungkook. Some fans in South Korea immediately held a joint broadcast in small cafes, replaying the short video while screaming hysterically. In Japan, a group of soldiers gathered in Shibuya, lit light sticks and sang snippets of the song Spring Day, as if recalling old memories. In Brazil, hundreds of people gathered on the waterfront of Copacabana waving purple flags with the words Borahi, setting off small fireworks as the moment of embrace was replayed on a large projector screen. Even in the Middle East, fans gathered in large shopping malls seemed to shed tears, proving that love for BTS knows no national borders, languages, or cultures. On the shores of Los Angeles, the atmosphere is even more serene. Dusk is getting dimmer, but the sky still leaves the gradations of orange, pink, and purple that seem to be deliberately given by nature to decorate this reunion. Jin stood close to Taehyung and Jungkook, patting them both on the shoulder with a proud, affectionate look. "This is our family," he said quietly, his voice trembling, but enough to be heard by the others. Aram, with teary eyes, nodded and added, "We don't need a big stage to prove who we are. Enough with this US, togetherness, and honesty." J-Hope, who is usually cheerful, seems the most emotional. He closed his face with both hands, his voice breaking as he said, "I'm really proud of you. Thank you, Tae, for being so honest. Thank you, Jungkook, for listening." Suga only smiled slightly, although his eyes were clearly watery. He lit his e-cigarette briefly, blowing smoke into the air while whispering, "This is more than I ever imagined." In the distance, ARMY shouted out each member's name, and when Taehyung waved to them with a smile full of emotion, the sound turned into a roar of applause and crying. Jungkook, who was still hugging Taehyung, finally smiled in relief. That smile, although simple, actually feels like the greatest gift for fans who have been waiting for this moment of togetherness for a long time. Some of the staff who attended seemed to be hugging each other. They know how hard each member's journey along the individual career path is, and how this reunion is not just a brief encounter, but a reminder that BTS is still one family. A senior staff member was even heard saying softly, "It's the first time I've seen them this honest in front of everyone, and I'll never forget it." The afternoon continued with an increasingly intimate atmosphere. The members began to sing together, without microphones, only to the accompaniment of the sound of waves and the applause of fans. They sang pieces of Butterfly and Spring Day, songs that always managed to make ARMY cry because they were loaded with memories and deep meaning. Jungkook, with his clear voice, is clearly heard chanting the first verse, while Taehyung continues with his signature baritone tone. Their voices combined, merging with the sound of the wind and the pounding of the sea, creating a natural harmony that gave everyone their goosebumps. The ARMY watching from afar sang along, their voices echoing along the coastline. Some of them turned on their phones with the lights on, lifting them high as if creating a small version of the purple sea in Los Angeles. The little ones who came with their parents seemed to run in the sand shouting the name of their idol, creating a warm moment that made many of the adults there even more moved. Meanwhile, the virtual world continues to rumble. CNN, BBC, to Korean entertainment media such as Dispatch and Soompi are vying to carry dramatic headlines. BTS reunion on Los Angeles beach, Taehyung confides, Jungkook is moved, or sunset hug. BTS shook the world with honesty in beach twilight. Even celebrities have commented. A Hollywood actor wrote on Twitter, "I happen to be not far from there. Never seen such a beautiful moment of brotherhood. BTS is really special." Another international singer posted a photo of a beach sunset with the caption, "That hug broke the internet." Another surprise, several large ARMY fanbases immediately announced that they would print a silhouette photo of Taehyung and Jungkook under the twilight as an official poster to send free to fans around the world. "It's not just a picture," wrote one fanbase account. "It's a symbol of hope, a symbol of bonding, a symbol of unconditional love."